Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your January 2018 general readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Welcome to any newcomers and welcome to the new year, though I am recording these in the last week of December. Thank you always for your likes, shares, subscribes, and all your support, feedback, and comments. You guys are wonderful. Keep it up. And as always, a big thank you to both my regular clients and my new clients for continuing to keep me so busy and fulfilled with personal one-on-one readings. If any of you are interested in a personal reading with me, you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on the About button for more information and all of my contact details. And you can also find my contact info attached to the description of every video I post. I do a wide variety of readings in every main area of life. Particularly popular this time of year, end of the old year, beginning of the new year, are the 6 and 12 month overviews I do, which are intensive spreads, which looks at what's coming in all the main areas of your life over a 6 or 12 month period, which you can order anytime during the year, but a lot of people like to start a new year with those, so you may want to consider that for yourself or as a gift for someone else. But I do a wide variety of readings. You can find all that by looking on my YouTube channel's homepage under the About button. Turnaround time for personal readings is pretty quick. I can usually get back to you within the same day or the first 24 hours of initial contact with more information. And since I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week, it is what I do. Scheduling is anywhere from a few days upwards of 2 weeks, but almost always within a 2-week period of time we can set something up for you live or recorded. You can email me directly at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. And for those of you who are not looking for the longer or intensive readings, you just have a quick question you need a quick answer to, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy. That link is also with the rest of my contact info. And that's a smartphone app. It's pretty cool. If you just have 1 or 2 quick questions, you have a decision you need to make really quickly or on the fly, or a new relationship or something you just want to look at really quickly, you can find me on that. You can choose the 1 question, 1 answer option, or you can open it up for a little short reading via text. And they also have a new video chat option as well, so check that out if you're interested. Make sure to check your rising and your moon sign videos as well for additional clarification and insight. As you know, these are general readings. There's a lot of you watching, so it's going to resonate differently for everybody who's watching. Although the details and specifics may vary, the energy fundamentally remains the same for those of you watching. So let's move right along into this. This reading is for the water sign of Scorpio for January 2018. Can you believe it's the start of a new year already? Hasn't it gone by in just a blink of an eye? All right, Scorpio, our lovely Scorpions, water sign of Scorpio. Let's see what the beginning month of this beautiful new year has in store for you. Okay, Scorpio. We begin with the star. What a lovely way to begin. Followed by the 9 of Cups. We have the 5 of Swords, followed by the King of Wands. We have the Magician, followed by the 3 of Swords in reverse. And the Hermit, followed by the 2 of Wands. It's like you're taking your power back, Scorpio. From the bottom of the deck, representing overall energy and guidance for the month of January 2018, we have the 6 of Wands, which is victory and triumph after a struggle. What a strong, powerful, powerful reading. And while I like to see this energy any time of the year, what a beautifully appropriate time for it to happen. End of the new year going in, or end of the old year going into the new year. There's a strong theme of triumph. You've been victorious over something. It's like it feels like you've just maybe been through a really difficult time, emotionally painful for a lot of you with this 3 of Swords. But it's like you're taking your power back. You're finally standing up and going, okay, I'm done. It's time to move on now. Actually, let's start with your crowning card, overall energy and guidance for January 2017, the 6 of Wands, fire energy. That's the element which governs wands, powerful, fiery, fluid, action-oriented energy, change, movement, action, power, and it's also the energy of creating, manifesting, and building. The Six of Wands is a card of victory, victory and triumph after a struggle, a battle, achievement of some kind. It could just be, you know, successful completion of something you put a lot of hard work into as well. It doesn't need to be actual victory and triumph after an actual battle, but it does represent victory, triumph, success, and it's typically after a difficult or challenging time. And it can also represent public recognition, so because this man is being publicly recognized for whatever it is that he's accomplished and been victorious over. So it could be that during the month of January, some of you may be receiving an award, you might be being publicly recognized at work, or it could just be for some of you that it's just that your friends and family, the people that are around you that have been privy and part of kind of watching what you've been going through, struggling with or against, are also just acknowledging that and giving you a lot of support and, you know, well done, so to speak, energy. And this is big victory and triumph too. This is not a card that says, oh, you know, this is, oh, you did really well today, or this is a significant victory and triumph as well. What area of your life this is manifesting, and of course it's a general reading, so for some of you this could be in the relationship area of your life, others it could be job, work, and career. The energy fundamentally remains the same. Victory and triumph, and healing as well too. It may not be an actual battle like, you know, a legal court case where you've actually come out on top, although it could be that for some of you. But the victory is over perhaps a period of darkness or depression or sadness, or struggle, perhaps internal as well. And it's just it's kind of like you've woken up one day and just, you know, walked out on your front porch and realized the sun is still shining, life is still meant to be lived. If someone broke your heart, well, you're moving on. It's time to move on. You know you're worth it. You know what your value is, and you're moving forward. Same if it has to do with job, work, and career. It's a sense of I am taking my power back. I'm moving forward. There's an energy of not just victory and triumph, but healing, peace and healing as well. Because we have the Star and the Nine of Cups. This is absolutely fabulous energy, Scorpio. The Star is one of my favorite cards in the tarot. This is a card of hope, faith, and optimism, and almost childlike hope, faith, and optimism, but a sense of renewal of hope, faith, and optimism, meaning that I usually see the Star card come up after somebody's gone through a period of darkness or pain or challenge, struggle of some kind. Perhaps they've been ill for quite a while and they're finally beginning to recover. Maybe you had a really bad breakup or divorce of some kind. Someone broke your heart, or vice versa, or, you know, there's usually two sides to every story, right? And you went through, you know, often your emotional cave, but one day you wake up and realize that, you know, love is still out there and it's still possible. Kind of a darkness into light, winter into spring, sickness into healing card, renewed hope, faith, and optimism. And clarified and paired with the Nine of Cups, water energy is the element which governs this suit. And in the tarot, the energy of cups usually manifests in the emotional area of your life, your emotional landscape, your feelings, and also relationships as well. The Nine of Cups is often referred to as the wish fulfillment card, the lottery card, you know, getting what you want, your cups overflowing abundantly. Particularly in a physical sense too, having more than enough to eat and drink, physical surroundings are comfortable, but just feeling like there's a sense of joy and your cups overflowing abundance. There's always a cautionary advice to the Nine of Cups about, you know, be careful what you wish for, because you might get it. You might find out that it's not everything you thought it was. I'm not feeling that so much here. The Star and the Nine of Cups, it's like ending December 2017 and going into January 2018. You know, your overall energy, this is just lovely, beautiful energy. It's healing. But again, for most of you, if not for all of you, it's you're coming out of something. It feels like you're coming out of it feels kind of like you've been in a cave for a while, whether that's emotional or, you know, just going through one of those periods in life where you were hurt or really badly disappointed, and, you know, you were still moving forward, maybe putting one foot in front of the other, keeping your head down, and now all of a sudden you're kind of entering the new year feeling a renewed sense of hope, faith, and optimism. in your life overall and feeling really quite abundant and joyous. So next to that we have the Five of Swords and the King of Wands. Swords is air energy. That's the element which governs this suit. And in the tarot, the energy of this suit is internal psychological energy. It's about our belief systems, what we believe in, how we think, how we look at things, our perspectives, and how that affects the way that we communicate with the world and people in the world. It's very mental, cerebral, intellectual energy, also about truth, illumination, clarity, insight, higher education, learning, all this energy here. The Five of Swords is a card of victory, technically a card of victory. I say technically because the question which usually accompanies the Five of Swords is something worth it? Has a battle been worth it, or is this battle worth it? Is it worth continuing in? Sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes it's no. Sometimes it represents being victorious or coming out on top. But the cost is personal relationships. You can see that this man has just finished a battle or a fight, a challenge of some kind. He's obviously the victor. His opponents or enemies are defeated on the ground behind him. He's gathered up all their weapons and he's holding his own aloft in victory. Although he looks tired, worn out, exhausted, he's bleeding from a little cut on his forehead. It hasn't been an easy battle. It's cost him quite a bit. And sometimes the people on the ground behind him can sometimes represent that getting through this battle means that you had to leave people behind. And again, is the battle worth it, or has the battle been worth it, is a question that is sometimes yes, sometimes no. It really just depends on how it resonates for you. I mean, sometimes I see the Five of Swords come up in job, work, and career when someone's so ambitious that they're willing to get ahead at any and all costs, including, you know, relationships with people. But sometimes it's about, you know, being victorious and coming out on top, and even though it's cost a lot, it's definitely a battle that's been worth it. It just depends on you know, who you are and what's going on in your life. Although I feel like in this spread there's such a victorious, overcoming, like against all odds kind of feeling. I feel like for the majority of you, whatever you've been through and how hard you had to fight to kind of overcome maybe has cost a lot, and you're coming out of it maybe with some scars, but definitely it's worth it, and there's been a lot of value and lessons learned. Now the Five of Swords is accompanied and clarified by the King of Wands, which would represent a fire sign individual, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or someone who's strongly manifesting as the King of Wands. And because this is the clarifier for the Five of Swords, this could go a couple of different ways. For some of you, it could be that you're victorious, you're manifesting this King of Wands energy, even though you're a water sign, you're manifesting this King of Wands energy, you know, feeling like this Leo, Aries, Sagittarius individual. You know, the King of Wands is very powerful, dynamic, energetic, you know, a fighter, a warrior. He's also a good leader, charismatic, not one to rest on his laurels for very long. He'll tackle things head on. He or she, it's not gender specific, could be male or female. For some of you, this could be a person you have achieved victory, I don't know if I want to say over, but about. It could be an actual, perhaps there was a fire sign individual in your life, or someone who was, you know, manifesting like the King of Wands in your life. And whatever this victory and triumph energy has had something to do with this King of Wands, this male or female individual, because right next to him is the Three of Swords in reverse, which means healing and overcoming heartache and heartbreak. So it could be that this person maybe hurt you quite deeply or quite badly, and you know, kind of had to struggle with that, going through the healing process, and you're finally overcoming that. It could be that you know, it also was, you know, very damaging or harmful to your self-esteem and maybe how you looked at yourself or felt about yourself, and you're finally overcoming that. You're taking your power back. You're coming back from that, and moving forward very powerfully in the future. It could be someone that you were actually against in maybe a court case or something. I'm not getting too much in legality, but it could be that as well. And for some of you, a smaller portion of you, this could be an actual partner with you, and together you're kind of triumphing. Although I'm feeling for the majority of you that this King of Wands is a male or female that was the source of some kind of emotional pain in relationships. It could be a love and romance relationship. It could be another type of relationship. It could even be in job or career. It could be somebody who fired you or a colleague who stole your promotion, or, again, it's a general reading. The details and specifics will always vary, but the energy fundamentally remains the same. I feel like for the majority of you, there's this triumph energy over an individual who looked like was the source of a lot of pain and disappointment for you, but you are taking it back. Next, we have the Magician and the Three of Swords in reverse. So the Magician is a powerful, independent card. This is a card that, it's a very strong card. The Magician's walked kind of a long road. He's practiced a lot. He's learned a lot, trial and error. He's learned through success and failure, triumph and defeat. And he's reached a point in his career now where he's very experienced. He has all the knowledge, the experience, the tools, the knowledge of how to use those tools, the wisdom, everything that he needs to create, build, and manifest whatever he wants to, with very little to no help from anyone else. He knows who he is. He knows how to get things done. If he has a challenge, it's probably in working with other people, because he's been doing things his own way for a long time, and he knows that's the best way to do it. But it's a very independent, very powerful card. It's a card about knowing who you are, not needing anything from anybody or asking for help, in a positive, self-empowering kind of way. And it's clarified by the Three of Swords in reverse. So in the upright position, emotional pain, heartbreak, heartache, deep disappointment, can represent breakups, infidelity or cheating as well, sometimes in relationships, but a source of emotional pain and heartache, and that's in the reverse, representing a lessening of that, a moving away from that. As well. Very powerful. Again, it's as if you, and I felt this as soon as the cards started coming out, a sense of overcoming, victory and triumph over some source of emotional pain and strong disappointment. For a lot of you, perhaps in relation to a fire sign individual in your life. It's like you're entering the new year courageous, strong, firm, hope, faith, and confidence moving forward again. And you're taking some time out, perhaps taking a step back to look at perhaps what your long-term goals are, trying to maybe choose some different long-term goals or figure out how you're going to get to your long-term goals or what you want to do next, looking down the road, because at or towards the end of January 2018, we have the Hermit and the Two of Wands. So the Hermit is about, sometimes it can represent walking a solitary path or a path alone. It can be loneliness, although I'm not really feeling that here. What do hermits do? What do monks, hermits, monastics do? They withdraw, they retreat from conventional society or from the distractions of conventional society. To do what? They do it to seek, to go within, to kind of seek out wisdom, clarity, insight, find a solution to something. They try and remove themselves from the noise and distraction of normal day-to-day life in order to seek out clarity on something and to use the culmination of their life's experience to help kind of guide them. So this represents, now it's clarified by the Two of Wands, which is about being at a crossroads and needing to choose a path. Do I go left? Do I go right? And the energy of the Two of Wands, the key to choosing the right path is in looking down the road. This is about looking at your long-term goals, not what you want to do right now, but if you already have specific long-term goals set, particularly in relationships or job, work, career, whatever, however this is resonating in your life, looking down the road long-term, where do I really want to be in this area in my life a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Choose that, and then it makes the path getting there clearer, and make sure that every decision you make, every step you take moves you closer to that goal. Otherwise, it's a waste of time and effort, including relationships, money. I mean, that this philosophy works in every area of your life. Whatever area of your life this is resonating in, what's your long-term goals there? And make sure that all the decisions you make, particularly the significant decisions, move you closer to that goal. Otherwise, you don't need to be doing them. You don't need to be investing in steps or choices or investments or people that get in the way or don't help you reach those long-term goals. It's about choosing long-term goals and being smart about doing that. So it looks like at the end of January 2018, you may be taking some time out or just kind of in a reflective, contemplative state about, you know, looking down the road, what's my long-term goals, and maybe tweaking your long-term goals or trying to solidify where you want to be a year down the road, 3 years down the road, 10 years down the road. lovely, powerful energy, Scorpio, for the month of January 2018. Happy to bring it to you. Really powerful, so good for you. So that pretty much sums up your January 2018 general reading. I hope you have enjoyed it, that it was helpful at least in some way. If any of you are interested in any personal one-on-one reading with me, just go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on that About button for more information and my contact details. You'll also find my contact info with the description of all the videos I post. Feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you and set up a reading as quickly as possible. And if you just have a quick question or two you want a really fast answer to, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy, and that link is also with the rest of my contact info. So I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the January 2018 mid-month reading, Scorpio. Until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life as we transition out of the old year and into a beautiful, blessed new one. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.